Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video, we'll be talking about the Washington Commanders being interested in former Redskins offensive lineman Morgan Moses, and I'll be talking about some other Commanders rumors heading into free agency tomorrow. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and that notification bell as well, so you never miss a video. So I am still on vacation, so recording this, late at night this time, but I believe on the East Coast in the U.S., this news came out about like 7-ish from Diana Rossini, who used to work in the area and now is a NFL reporter, national reporter, and she reported that the Commanders, amongst other teams, I know the Patriots were one of them. I don't know about the other teams, and sorry if there's background noise. I am recording this a little bit outside just so I can be a little bit louder while other people are in the crib. But yeah, the Commanders will be interested in him. Morgan Moses, he's still a solid tackle. I don't know. I wouldn't pay him a lot of money, and I would bring him in to maybe compete for a starting spot. But at this point in his career, he's older. I just don't think he's necessarily a guy that will come in and be a guaranteed starter day one. For me, no. You got Wiley, you have Coleman. Coleman's solid at left tackle and could switch into guard, but I like Coleman. And then Wiley, is he amazing? No, but I feel like at this point in their careers, Wiley and Morgan Moses are similar players. Maybe one's better than the other, but and I like Morgan Moses. Obviously, he played here for a while and he was pretty consistent, didn't really get hurt, or at least he didn't miss games. He did get hurt sometimes, but he would play through it and was a solid right tackle for the Commanders. Number 76, had some false starts, but for the most part he was pretty good, and he was he's a good guy too, good guy in the community and everything. Went to UVA, go Hokies though. But yeah, he's a guy that would make sense for if maybe instead of bringing back a guy like Cornelius Lucas, you bring back Morgan Moses, and him, maybe he competes for your third tackle spot. Or maybe they're like, we'll bring in Morgan Moses and we'll release Andrew Wiley. So Moses will be the right tackle, Wiley will be cut. Or maybe Moses is the right tackle and they draft a guy and those two guys compete for the starting spot. Or same thing with Coleman. I don't know, but that is kind of what I'm thinking here. I don't think it makes a ton of sense with Wiley on the roster right now, unless they want to, have those two guys compete for the right tackle spot and then the other guy be a backup. And that would be a pretty dang good backup to have either Wiley or Morgan Moses as your backup tackle. Those guys have a lot of experience. Also, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, what you could do, because Sam Cosmi is injured and probably will miss some of this season, you can put Morgan Moses at right tackle, move Andrew Wiley inside to right guard, Tyler Biadasz is your center, and then you can have maybe Nick Allegretti at left guard and Brandon Coleman at left tackle, or maybe you draft a left tackle and then you move Coleman inside, or maybe you draft a guard and you have that guard start at left guard, or you sign a guard and that guy's going to be your starting left guard. There's a bunch of different possibilities. So I just thought about that, and that's something that the Commanders could do, is switch Wiley inside, put him at right guard, and see if they want to do him, have him at right guard, have him play that position. I don't know if they want to do that, but that's definitely a possibility. They had the chance to do that in the playoffs with Cosmi, going against the Eagles with Cosmi's injury, but they decided to start Trent Scott. So maybe that shows you guys their thoughts on Wiley at right guard, but then also, it's a 1 week turnaround. You don't know if, how that's going to mesh with the offensive line. So I understand also why they didn't do it. So I definitely think it's still a possibility. But again, we'll talk about it when it actually happens, because, there's other teams interested. The Patriots definitely could see that happen. And then also some other stuff, have been on vacation, so I haven't been posting every single video, had some pre-recorded videos, but we'll be posting them all for free agency for the most part. Zach Ertz re-signed, love that. Made the video about Bobby Wagner, so you can go ahead and check that out, but like that too. Zane Gonzalez signed to a deal, so they at least have a kicker, but I would like to upgrade or draft a guy, see how he does. But the Zach Ertz deal is good. Bring him back for, I believe it was like 8-ish, I don't know, something like that, with up to a certain amount of money and incentives. and it's, you know, similar to the Wagner deal where they both got incentives in there. So I like bringing those, you know, both those guys back for 1-year deals. I think that's good, and you know, the Commanders will be in a good spot with those guys, and they fill holes that, you know, those guys were good, you know, good last year, but they were free agents. So you had holes at those positions. Doesn't mean you can't upgrade at tight end, or not even upgrade, but add or maybe upgrade the backup position. That's something that you can do. So look out for that. Maybe they add a guy in free agency. Maybe they add a guy like Evan Ingram who can play wide receiver and tight end. The Commanders also released Jonathan Allen. Didn't make a video about that because, I mean, first off, just got back from travel. Like, I was just, you know, reached my destination when that news came out, and I wasn't really trying to make a video, but I didn't love the move, to be honest. I know they didn't, you know, they couldn't find a trade partner. That's, you know, that is what, you know, it is what it is. It's understandable. There wasn't a huge market for him, especially when teams, you know, found out that they were going to release him if they didn't find a trade partner. The Commanders kind of lost leverage. I don't know if that was their fault or just that the teams kind of knew that would happen without the Commanders even, you know, putting out trade offers or, you know, putting out flyers there for Allen. But I think Allen can still contribute, and I would have tried to restructure the deal, bring him back for the cheap, you know, relatively cheap, and have him, you know, in that rotation. They didn't want to do that. I much rather keep Allen for a little bit cheaper than, you know, Daron Payne at the $22 million he's making. And, you know, Payne might be a better player, but for that amount of money, and he's not taking a pay cut. I know that for sure. And you could probably get trade compensation for Daron Payne. So you get trade compensation, you save a lot of money, and you still keep Allen. For me, that would have been the better play. But I'm going to trust Adam Peters because he hasn't given us a reason to not trust him. So I will trust him on this one. That doesn't mean I agree with it, but obviously Adam Peters knows a lot more than me, a lot more than you guys in the comments. So we're going to trust him and see how he does. For the most part, he's done really, really, you know, well with his decision making with, you know, Jaden Daniels, Luvu, Wagner, a lot of the free agents last year. Not many misses. Definitely no big misses. There was a couple where it was like, okay, like it wasn't a great sign. Like Michael Davis, that was one. But who cares? Those are the signings you like, maybe not necessarily Michael Davis, but like the Clelin Ferrell type of signings, the Noah Igbenogany signings, the guys that were once, you know, highly drafted that maybe didn't fully develop in the league, but you have some connections with them, like Noah Igbenogany with the Cowboys and then Clelin Ferrell with the 49ers. Those, you know, obviously have connections with Adam Peters and Dan Quinn. Those are the signings you need to make. Noah Igbenogany, that worked out for the Commanders. You know, he was a special teams guy in Dallas, and he ended up being a starter for the Commanders for the full year. Clelin Ferrell, you know, wasn't a great signing. It wasn't a bad signing either. He, you know, had some sacks, had some, you know, nice plays, but he also was hurt for a lot of the year. But those are the type of signings that you make because it's low risk with potential high reward. And if you make a lot of those signings, some of those will turn out to be good signings, like Noah Igbenogany, you know, even like Bobby. I mean, it's a different type of signing, but Bobby Wagner, Frankie Louvu was a good one. Jeremy Chin was a good one. Like, I love these 1-year deals. And, you know, hopefully the Commanders continue to do that. But, yeah, basically, Morgan Moses, wanted to talk about that and then just give you guys a rundown on my thoughts on all of the other stuff. I think the Commanders will be somewhat active in free agency tomorrow. Maybe not, you know, big names, maybe one or two. I know Ronnie Stanley got signed. You know, what's his name? Levante David. There's a, you know, a couple other. DK Metcalf just got traded. Christian Kirk got traded. Myles Garrett got extended. Max Crosby got extended. I could see a Trey Hendrickson trade tomorrow to the Commanders. That's what I was saying, but maybe to another team. But I think that could happen tomorrow. I'm trying to think of any other extensions that were made. I know the Jets had a couple today. Like, the Seahawks traded Geno Smith. Maybe Sam Howell's the guy there for next year. Maybe they draft a QB. But a lot to talk about. But we're gonna end it there. Devontae Adams got signed to the Rams. But, you know, Commanders, big day for them tomorrow. Today over here. And, yeah, we'll see what they go ahead and do. I'll give you guys updates tomorrow. Probably will be quick ones and, you know, might be on the road. But, hey, got to do what I got to do. And thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hail to the Commanders and peace.